Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Work in Progress Wednesday, we have 4 AJ Styles Elites. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I have 4 different AJ Styles Elite figures I'm going to be working on, and I have a lot of AJ Styles figures in my fodder bin, and instead of just holding on to them for parts, I decided I'm going to make a few different AJ Styles. So you can see here, they're all going to be WWE attires except the short-haired scan. So this one on the right is going to be an all-white and light blue attire. So we've got the Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 10 kick pads. It is not the new figure. This is the old Shawn boots. And then we've got lowers. I just grabbed some from Kushida. Yep. And then obviously AJ Styles legs, torso, head, everything. Obviously AJ Styles, his older figures. I guess this red one's the newer one, but the Ultimate that we got of AJ's got the bigger leg mold. I much prefer that for AJ, but I've got the opportunity to do a bunch of AJ's with the same Elite mold we've gotten, so I'm going to do that. They're going to fit in well with the rest of the collection. The red one, so I guess I can show you, got the decals here. So here are the white and blue, so the attire's going to be all white with blue accents. On this one, I already have a couple of different AJs from his TNA run, but they're in his short, like biker shorts kind of attire. Next one is the red one. So this red one here is going to be his attire from one of the paybacks. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look. I want to say it's when he fought Dean Ambrose in a ladder match. Maybe he fought John Cena. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look again. It's from Payback when they first did the brand split. So I'm going to be doing that red attire. Next up is the gray one. So all these I'm going to have to get rid of the design on all of them. We've got all the decals, including all the belts, kick pads, and everything. So going to be a lot of acetoning today. But it's okay. It's going to look fresh. We've got the red and gray attire for this gray AJ. And it was when he was part of the OC. I don't know if they're even calling themselves the OC yet. But that's an attire that I actually did a custom of a long time ago. I just kind of repainted one of the figures we already had. But this one, again, we're doing decals. Going to lay those over the gray that we already have. I think that's going to look really good. And then the one I'm kind of most excited for is going to be this blue one here. We have his attire from the Royal Rumble. So it was a blue and red attire, which is different than what we've gotten. We get a lot of like black and red, black and blue, black and gray. Like there's not really any blue in this attire. It's blue with some red accents, and I think it's gonna look really cool. He wore it when I think he like broke his wrist or his ankle actually at the Royal Rumble when Drew McIntyre won, and then he went away for a while. So we only saw that attire, I believe, that one time. So yeah, we got a lot of prepping to do, but a lot of decals, and I think it's gonna be fun. Let's get to it.
All right, so the hard part is done for the AJs. I spent almost more than 2 hours acetoning off the designs on these tights. It was terrible. I watched Bob's Burgers and I acetoned for 2 hours, and then I got to this blue AJ, and the knee pads were a pain, so we're just gonna paint blue over them. Same with the crotch piece. It was like the design was not coming off, and I don't want to ruin it with the goof off, so painting over blue with that, and then painting white on those knee pads for the red figure. But this one here, decals are clear, so I had to make sure there weren't any spots that looked bad. But then it's really easy placing these clear decals. They go on a lot easier than the colored ones. Whether you're using decal softener, hairdryer or not, it's always a little easier with these clear ones. The thing for me, I've seen some people say not to use the decal set, and I don't think you need it. Like you don't need it to get your decals to stick. But I've found it helps me move it around a little bit once I do place it in case I want to move it. So to each their own, but I've always found that a little simpler. This gray one here, again, I tried to get the clear ones for all these AJs. I didn't for the red one, but these ones are clear as well. And on the gray, it's going to look good. It doesn't, the color's going to still pop with it being a lighter figure. But then I just got to make sure I cut and line these up correctly. So I got to get that on the crotch piece on both sides. It really just, these decals, I don't know, for some reason I was expecting more difficulty with the decals, but it was really only a couple pieces on all these. So I just had a lot of fun. This is probably the most difficult one just because it wraps all the way around. So I got to make sure I get it right. There was a lot of moving, a lot of adjusting, but then once I kind of have it in place, I don't press it down. When it wraps around, I'll use the heater and then kind of let it suck to the leg, and then I'll kind of press it in. The Styles one here, this red one, I did have to cut the S off, do that separately because it was going to go on the back of the crotch piece. And then the other one was just that decal on the left leg you saw. So here you can see I took a break between the legs. I wanted to let that other one cool down a little bit. So same process. Got to kind of figure it out where I want to put it, and then use the hairdryer and really get it to stick to the leg. Decals are all really easy on the kick pads. Really, it's just the matter of making sure everything went on smoothly with the legs. So just a couple more things to touch up, and I will be all done.
All right, let's get cracking with these AJs. I'm excited. I'm going to start off with this one here, the Royal Rumble attire, because this head is a placeholder. So it is from the Ultimate Edition. This head, I think, is awesome. This is just like looking at the figures here. I think this is the best sculpt we have. I think the hair looks, I think this is like some of the best looking sculpting they've done for his hair. It's not like too big. The only issue is that they are not matching skin tones. I don't know if you can tell just from the camera, but they made the Ultimate Edition in the pale skin tone, and all his other figures are in the tan skin tone. I don't know why they did that. I don't even think it's necessarily wrong that they gave him the pale skin tone, but they've never given him that in any of his other figures. It's always been the tan, so that frustrates me because, like, one of my favorite things about the Ultimates is being able to pop the heads on different figures we've gotten. So not being able to do that with a like seamless skin tone match is a little frustrating, but again, I think it looks good. It's a placeholder for now until I can kind of dig through my bins, find a different AJ. But attire wise, I mean, that's what we're really looking at here. You can see the red belt, OC on the side. It's a little short, so there's like a little gap there. There's the OC logo, or that like Japanese logo. I guess I don't necessarily know what it is. Did paint red around the kick pads. And none of these by themselves were too complicated. Really just a lot of fun. I like doing decals, and really happy with how these turned out. This one here, I did look around. I decided to just go with the basic arms, even though they're just the most basic arms, the pinless, just one joint, but they've got the red gloves, and I don't have any intention of like selling this, and I always am open, but I'm happy with just using those arms. It doesn't really bother me. There's the P1 on the side. There's the boots, painted the black around these. Back here, I just kept it like a little black. I couldn't find good pictures of how much black was on the back of the kick pads, so kept it simple. I can always add more. It's harder to take it away, so just put a little bit on there to go around the decal. And you can see here, Styles on the side. I'm gonna have to do a whole new AJ Styles showcase after adding all these to my collection. Next up, probably my favorite one today. I don't know, maybe a little coin flip here, but this is the sculpt that I'm gonna look for to put on the AJ with the long hair. Like this one, it's a little big. You can see this one's like more cut short, so it sits better. But this, I think, looks fantastic. Not having to paint the gray looks really, really nice. Not having to paint the kick pads either. or the decals. Those were already the correct boots. So this one was pretty simple. The hardest part was measuring where I needed to cut on the crotch piece and the leg, but that wasn't too bad. Really, really happy with that. And lastly, we have the TNA version. So Steinsenberg Customs uploaded a picture of this while I was working on these. So his is a little bit different. His has got the same white and blue attire, but then it's black kick pads. I did not have any white elbow pads, so this is what I went with. I put a little dab of glue up top so they wouldn't fall off. He did wear the open pads, and the open pads we get are gigantic. Like this, they fall down Goldberg's arms. I don't know why they did them like that, but wanted to put the open pads. So there we've got all the decals all the way through. Kick pads and everything. It overlapped a little bit on the back. You can see it's like a little darker in the middle there, but not the end of the world. Just make enough room for all these guys to get in the screen here, though. So there we are. 4 more AJs to add to the collection, and I always have a lot of fun with his attires. I think they look good, and Mattel tends to only give us the ones that are black, so adding a lot of colorful attires is always fun to do. It always makes the showcase a lot more fun too when I get things that are vastly different. So yeah, that is going to be everything. Look for the AJ Styles showcase to come again before too long. I've done like 7 customs of him in the last couple months, so if you like what we're doing here, if you like Work in Progress Wednesday, go check out the full playlist. We've got plenty that we've done, plenty more to come. If you like the channel in general, please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude, out.